Hi, this is Jenny.
And I'm Max.
And today we'll be discussing the hemoglobin protein and its molecular story with the sickle cell disease. So let's take a look at the map with the frequencies of the sickle cell allele. You can see that the sickle cell disease is relevant all over the world, and it is the most apparent in Africa, shown by the dark red colored areas. Clearly, it is a problem. So what really is hemoglobin? Well, hemoglobin is a protein that is found in the red blood cells, and it carries oxygen from the lungs to the tissues and organs of your body. And it also carries carbon dioxide back to the lungs. And so hemoglobin is a protein that is very important to the respiration of the human body and other animals.
So let's talk about the structure of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a tetramer, meaning that it has 4 subunits. 2 of the subunits are alpha chains, which have 141 amino acids each, and then the other 2 subunits are beta chains, which have 146 amino acids each. And so there are 4 oxygen binding sites, with 1 oxygen binding site per subunit.
In the video you see now, the 4 cyan-colored areas are the 4 binding groups. The alpha helices are represented by the spirals. You will see that there are no beta-pleated sheets in hemoglobin.
So here are the wireframe and cartoon views of hemoglobin. As you can see, they are colored according to the subunits, so the top 2 pink and green sections are the alpha chains, and the bottom 2 sections are the beta chains. So how is sickle cell disease and hemoglobin related? Well, the sickle cell disease occurs due to a single mutation in the hemoglobin protein. And so it causes the hemoglobin to form polymers, which are long chains of hemoglobin molecules. And so the red blood cell becomes sickle-shaped, and these sickle-shaped red blood cells are no longer oval and round, so they cannot pass through blood vessels freely, leading to major complications to people's health.
There are several harmful effects of having sickle cell disease. Some of these are pain due to the blockage in the blood vessels, hemolysis, which is the destruction of red blood cells, fatigue, high blood pressure, and anemia. Let's take a look at the gene sequence of hemoglobin with the sickle cell mutation. The mutation is in the 6th amino acid of the beta chain. This mutation causes glutamic acid to become valine, and you can see this mutation in the diagram shown by the red circle. The single nucleotide substitution causes the sickle cell disease. So what are the structural effects of having hemoglobin with the sickle cell mutation? The mutated valine binds to 2 hydrophobic amino acids, and those amino acids are in a beta chain of a different hemoglobin. And this is how hemoglobin forms polymers. Let's take a look at a video of our own 3D printed models of 2 beta chains from different hemoglobins with the mutation. You can see here the blue ring represents the mutated valine, and that valine is going to connect to 2 hydrophobic amino acids of a different beta chain from a different hemoglobin, represented by the yellow rings.
So how do people know if they have sickle cell disease? Well, early screening is critical to their survival in fighting this deadly disease. And so blood tests are usually taken to go analyze the hemoglobin, and hemoglobin can be analyzed in several ways, such as DNA analysis, electrophoresis, and mass spectrometry. And so to the right, you can see a photo of electrophoresis. And so basically in electrophoresis, they can separate hemoglobin based on their size, and so they can see if you have sickle hemoglobin in addition to normal hemoglobin. So how is sickle cell disease treated after you know that you have it? Well, doctors usually prescribe a course of penicillin, since penicillin is an antibiotic, and your immune system is very weakened when you have sickle cell disease. And then blood transfusions are also very effective, since they replace the levels of sickle red blood cells with normal red blood cells that have normal hemoglobin with them. And narcotics are also prescribed to relieve pain that arises from having sickle cell disease. Lastly, stem cell transplants are the only cure, since they replace your bone marrow with new healthy bone marrow, which can create new healthy red blood cells. But this treatment is very risky, since there is a chance of your body rejecting these new stem cells.
Here is our references page, and that is it for the molecular story of the hemoglobin protein with the sickle cell disease.
Thank you for listening, and we hope that you learned a lot.